tell us more about your early years in high school, in college. When did you get in touch with technology, with IT? What drew you to this path?
Well, I was passionate about economics, so no connection with IT. First time I entered, I accessed the internet was at 19 years old, so I was pretty old. I started, I joined online company, and I learned from zero at that company things about the online world. The company was called the MK Co. They're running one-to-one, that's our website. And while my position was very a beginner position, I was very lucky to have around me very smart people. So I learned from them mostly the mindset of running a website. So that was really helpful for me.
When was that?
That was in 2001 to 2003. And in 2003, I started naturalplant.ro. At that moment was the first online health shop in Romania. I remember that I had no idea about coding. I knew databases from the university because I loved economics, so I was at the economy university. So I knew databases, and I started to learn PHP so that I could build a mobile shop. And I learned by doing.
Why did you choose this idea to start with your own business, your own career?
It was hazard about choosing the health shop because my uncle had a physical health shop, so I said let's do that. I never did online health shop never built an online health shop in my life, but let's do it. And it was very exciting because I knew nothing and I had to do everything alone in terms of online, from responding to emails, making pictures to products, making I don't know, articles, coding, even at sometimes delivering the products in Bucharest. So yeah, it was exciting.
What happened with that project?
It grew until the moment I started to realize that I need to go on .com because that's where the market is. And I started a new project, eRepublic.com, which was a geopolitical and macroeconomical simulation game. And it started to grow so nice that I simply started to. I moved my focus from Natural Plant and focused on eRepublic.
From health products and nature-based products to gaming.
Yeah.
It
was by accident.
It
was by accident because I wanted to build first of all a macroeconomical simulation. And then I said, okay, you cannot build a macroeconomy without some politicians to ruin that economy. So that's how the political simulator appeared inside this product. And then I said, okay, you need to be geopolitical, so more countries, so people from all around the world to enter in this product. And then I realized that we need to make it more fun, like to build an experience, a gamified experience. I had no idea about gaming. I played some games, but I didn't know how to build a game. So it evolved naturally, this product.
Do you feel that you've put into eRepublic your passion and what you've learned while studying economics, and that was helpful?
Yes, absolutely. It was based on my passion.
Do you remember when you first heard about startups and about this concept of startup founders and startups, and what did you think at that point about?
I learned about it pretty late. When I started eRepublic.com, when I started coding the product, I first looked for finance, for investment. And there are two problems. First of all, I had no experience on getting investment. And second of all, also the industry was not very developed. I mean, the options were very, very limited. The money that were in the industry were mostly from real estate, real estate investors. And the investment was done in the idea that the investor gets the majority of shareholding. By a chain of events, I managed to get investment from outside, from a foreign investor for eRepublic. So that was the story, the very short.
Tell us more. Tell us about the experience of raising money from a foreign investor. How was it like at that point in time?
It was an investor that was looking to invest in health, online health industry, and basically he said that I was the most experienced with online health. So the company was built mostly on building health products, online products, mostly for Romanian market. But on the side, we started building also eRepublic. We launched it, and the feedback was amazing. So our focus moved towards eRepublic, and it grew really nice.
What opportunities did you see on the market at that point in time? Was there an ecosystem? And also when you started building Green Horse Games, was there an ecosystem of Romanian startups at that point in time?
In terms of opportunity, it's I think it's pretty exaggerated for me to say that I was looking for opportunities. I just followed my passion. In terms of ecosystem, in 2006, 2007, so I got investment in 2006. There wasn't a very developed environment. The environment was more developed when I started Green Horse Games in 2013. At that point, you had How to Web, where you could meet investors, potential investors, where you can find out about trends that are happening in the online worldwide industry. You started to have investment opportunities, like more in a healthier way. Those investments where the investor gets a minority shareholding out of your company. So it was more mature. Still, it wasn't. There wasn't the experience. There wasn't a lot of experience, both in terms of investors and especially we're talking about entrepreneurs. Still in 2012, 2013, the success stories about Romanian entrepreneurs were about Romanian entrepreneurs that were successful outside Romania. So it was pretty bold, even in 2013, to have a startup, online startup in Romania.
Speaking about startups, did you consider of yourself as a founder while developing both eRepublic and Green Horse Games as developing startups, or did you see them as gaming studios, smaller gaming studios? When do you see yourself as a startup and as a game production company? How was the case with you?
I'm passionate about building products. As a subjective goal, I think that the thing that matters for me the most is to make as many as possible people to feel something while they're playing the games that we build. So that's a very subjective metric that I have. So at heart, I'm a product person. I love to build products. I love to build experiences. But on the same time, in order to survive, in order to have a company that can sustain a team, that can build quality products, you need to think in a business mindset. You need to think, you need to realize that you are a startup. You need to realize that you need to show some growth in order to get investment. In order, you need to sell, to have sales in order to to build value and have these products and these people, this team. So I would consider I had to consider myself a startup founder.
You mentioned investments, and I want to move the focus to the investment that you received from Alin, the funding school. How did it go? And I don't know, how long did you negotiate? What were the terms? You had another investor, so it wasn't your first. You were familiar, even though in Romania maybe not so much founders and investors, angel investors that were at that point present on the market. They were just getting their feet wet. You had some experience negotiating. How was the experience getting money from a Romanian angel?
I had the experience. I knew that when you get investment, there are advantages, but also responsibilities. So I weighted those things, and I realized that it's still better to get, at least at that point, investment. Why? To move faster. That was the main reason. The challenge that I had during that time, it was there weren't investors that had experience in the gaming industry. So there was no experience. We were lucky to meet Malin. We started talking. We started to realize that we're speaking the same language. We started, like, every month we had a meeting, and we discussed about how the company grew, what are the next steps. And after 6 months after we met, we signed, and he supported us from the start until the moment when we had a deal with Miniclip. So he was always close to us.
Do you think that it was harder, like you said, building something in the gaming industry not to explain, but to get investors that understand what this industry does, or what you need, but maybe that is different than, let's say, I don't know, health tech, prop tech, or other industry for startups? Do you think that it was harder or easier, or I don't know?
I think
everything has its opportunities, and
I think in every industry every industry has its challenges. There are some basic common sense things that apply to most industries, like gaming industry is if you build games for other people. So yeah, as Green Horse Games case, we are coming up with the idea, we're building the product, and also we are doing the marketing. So we're doing everything. We don't sell games to other companies, so it's a B2C company, and many things from B2C companies apply also in the gaming industry. But on the other hand, there are some special things that happen in the gaming industry. It's an industry where you have to mix a lot of subjective, like intuition based decisions but they need to be informed, those decisions, with numbers. So you need to focus a lot on KPIs, you have to do A/B tests, you have to do user tests, so that the moment when you make the decision, you're as informed as possible. All this in order to build that magic that a successful game needs to have.
Very nice, lad. Very nice, lad. Continuing on our discussion on investments, I'm going to move to the one you got from Catalyst, and please tell us, how was that different than working with an angel, and how did you manage to get a VC on board? Tell us a bit about the process behind that one.
Well, Catalyst was the only option for startups if you want to get post-seed money. And at that moment, Bogdan Iordache was working for Catalyst, and we spoke, and he saw the potential in us, and there was a lot of support from their side. Then after Bogdan Iordache, Marius Ghena arrived, and I worked also with him, and they were supportive. They were demanding more to be more accurate in everything that it's about finance, administrative things like that, which is nice because it makes the process of potential acquisition much smoother. So yeah, they helped us to work in a more professional way.
And speaking about that, this gets me to my next question, and it kind of works like magic, because Ana Maria Andronic told us about, we've talked to her and told us about your first connection with her and her being involved in that VC transaction, and how everything was pretty new at that point in time, also for them as lawyers, for the VCs, and also for you, the startup founders. Thinking back at that moment, or at those moments, the initial moments, from 10, even more years ago, how do you see them now as an experience?
I think there were exciting times. I think at the first startup, I think that I knew nothing. And at the second startup, I was experienced enough to realize that I have more chances to fail than to succeed. And so it was pretty thrilling, exciting. And looking back, I loved every moment, even the ones where I was very stressed.
Tell us a bit about those challenges then, while building Green Horse. Why, like you said, why were you were thinking about failing?
Mm-hmm.
Was it like because of the experience that, I mean, when you first started, everything was exciting, this cannot fail, it has to work, and then afterwards, after you get experience, okay, let's also look that it might fail, it might not go where we wanted to go.
The first game that we built with Green Horse Games, it wasn't the success that we expected. So after 9 months, we said, let's stop this. Let's build a new game. At that moment, you have investors, you have employees, you have your family that is looking at you, and there's a lot of pressure. Everybody believed in your idea, and you need to have the courage to say, no, this doesn't work, or at least this will not get us to where we want to be. And we had the courage to stop that game. So that's pretty difficult and stressful. But again, we did have the experience, we did know that the chances for you to fail are higher than the chances to succeed. And we tried again with a new game, and it worked. So we were luckier, more experienced. It worked the second time, the second game, the Greenhouse Games.
Tell us please about the offer from Miniclip. I don't know if you still remember how you felt when you heard about it. What was going on through your mind?
The moment when we met Miniclip, Greenhouse Games was in a pretty good place. We had a very nice growing game with a lot of potential. We had a very experienced team, and we were also solid in terms of finances. So we were looking to be acquired by a different company. And we met the guys from Miniclip, and we realized that working together with them will bring us faster and even further than we wanted to be. We negotiated and all the discussions and even the signing, it was all done online because it was during pandemic, so we never met face to face. And the moment when we signed, the company was growing like 10 times in terms of revenue in 1 year. And then it continued to grow furthermore, also very nice. And it was a very interesting collaboration. It's still a very interesting collaboration with them.
How long did it take you to look at everything, take a step back and look at everything, like you said, and see the advantages of being acquired and tell them, okay, let's do this? Was it a hard decision?
It was an obvious decision. I mean, after the first discussion, we had a 1 hour, 2 hours, the most discussion. And I was convinced after the first discussion with them. It took more on the details, the technicalities, the negotiating, all the details that you need to negotiate.
Do you think, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 years from now, looking back, that it would be still a good decision?
It was an amazing decision. It was an amazing decision because I still got to do what I love. We grew, which was nice, which is what I wanted. We kept the independence so that we are still making the decisions regarding the games. And this happens because Miniclip has a lot of trust in us. And I get the support of a company, of a team that's of 1,000 people. So it's a very good decision now after 2 years and a half.
So no regrets.
I can say. No regrets.
Tell us a bit about. We've talked about the initial stages of what became later on as the Romanian startup ecosystem. Tell us, how did you see it evolve during these years? You are part of everything that happened also with other startup founders. You've seen the investments. You know also the investment ecosystem and the people involved in funding other founders. How did you see things evolve in Romania during again the last 10 years, let's say, if not even more?
There's a lot. There are much many options regarding financing right now. You have more experienced investors. You have more experienced entrepreneurs. It's a much healthier ecosystem. So there is a very, very big difference.
Do you think that maybe there are still a core group of people that are involved, or the guys that you go to in order to get connections, get advice, mentorship, and also money? Is there still a core group of people?
There are people that have experience. There are investors that have experience, but this group of people is growing like every month. So there isn't one group. I think there are more groups in different parts of the country. I don't think that is a monopoly or something like that. I do believe that you have options right now. I might sound like an old man. Like during my time, things were much harder, but it is what it is.
And how do you think that things will evolve? Where are we heading, let's say, again, in the next 5 to 10 years?
I'm seeing more and more experience in the industry. And I think the industry will grow along with the Romanian society. Even more, I think the industry is an engine that helps the Romanian society and the Romanian economy to grow. And I do expect more and more pleasant surprises in the future from this industry.
Again, if you can, because you were present all along this decade of startups and startup founders in Romania, entrepreneurship, tech entrepreneurship in Romania. Tell us, in case we've missed something, which do you think that are some of the main moments, key moments that shaped our ecosystem to the point that it is today, that were really important?
Mm-hmm. You know, in 2008, there was this guy, Vladstan, that launched something that was unheard in Romania, investment fund for online companies. Was pretty amazing because in 2008 the investment options were very, very limited. And for the first time, you have somebody that was focused on online and that was asking a minority part of your shares, of the company shares. And I think that was an important event. I think that was a standard that afterwards it was started to be followed by more and more investors. So I think that's an important moment. Of course, there's also the moment of UiPath that was much more recent, that brought a lot of money. There are many investors that are now focusing on investing in online, so that's another very good moment. So I think those are the most important two moments in the online industry, Romanian online industry.
What do you think that's good and what's bad about Romanian startup founders, but also about Romanian investors, from your experience?
I think there's a lot of experience there's still a lot of experience that we need to have. I think we need to learn how to make decisions much more based on numbers. I think we need to be aware that plan A usually doesn't work, so you need to be prepared with plan B. And I think we need to be to have the strength to try again. Prepare for plan B and have the strength to try again. I think if we follow those things, those rules, I think we increase the chances for us as entrepreneurs to be successful.
What about investors, if you think, what's good and what's bad about them?
I'm not an investor, at least not a direct investor. I'm investing in startups through investment funds. So it's very hard for me to give an opinion about what they should do better.
In an European context or a regional context, where do you see us as an ecosystem in Europe, or even at a global image? And what do you think that it's our, let's say, secret ingredient as Romanian startup founders when seeing us compared to other founders from outside Romania?
I think we are at a much lower level than we like to think we are, and I think that the Romanian ecosystem, online startups ecosystem, has a bigger potential than we realized. There are many people that that started to remain here. We started to lose less brain power. So I think that's a trend that I'm starting to see, and that's a trend that will influence a lot the future of this industry. Like people that have experience and that remain in Romania to build amazing things.
What's next for you by the end of this year and in 2024? What are your plans?
I'm still a shareholder, and I'm still CEO of Green Horse Games. I love what I'm doing. We're building new games that I love, and it will be a challenge for me and for us as a team to build games that are exciting for players. So that's my 100% focus.
Do you think that you'll ever be tempted to start over again, to create another startup, another gaming company?
I'm not thinking about that right now. I love so much what I'm doing. I worked so much to have this team. I love working with them. There's no reason for me to think about a new startup.